So there's three phases to a launch when it comes to launching your digital products. There's the pre-launch phase. This is where you're starting to indoctrinate people, get them excited about what you've got to say, why this new methodology, this new framework, this new vehicle that they're going to go in, which is proprietary to you, why this is something for them to get hype over. And then in the second phase, you've got the actual launch phase. So this is where you start talking more about the sale and the product and the event that's coming up, and less about the value that came before. So you start slowly transitioning into more direct language and sales oriented content. And then finally, you've got the post-launch. So this is where you're just trying to push those last few people who are on the fence, perhaps not bought for whatever reason. You're handling objections, you're throwing in some more incentives, perhaps like an extra hidden bonus or something, just for those last few people. And so with this free phase framework, you can launch any product, okay? Whether it's a brand new product, or you're relaunching an old product, or you're combining, you're JVing or joint venturing with someone else, okay? So there's no kind of launch that doesn't fit into this framework. Now, of course, you can like make this more complicated and complex, but for the purposes of simplicity, we will just talk about these three phases in a bit more detail here. So I'll walk you through an example that we've got right now with a client. So he's in the Gen AI space. He's working on teaching how to make more precise AI models and influencers. Generally, that's his space. And now he's done the first bit. So he's carved out his own like blue ocean, if you like. He's got his own unique proprietary framework. It's, acronymized. I can never say that word. He's got an acronym, shall we say, and he's got a little TM symbol on it, and so he's away. And he's also positioned against the other competitors in the space in that everyone is always on the AI trend cycle and talking about the tech and the tools. Excuse me. And he is much less focused on that and more about the principles that guide why a certain face looks beautiful, etc. Body type and matching a certain look to a certain brand and aesthetic. So excuse me, particularly cough. Okay, where were we? All right, so yeah, he's got his own framework. So now he's putting these videos out on YouTube, he's educating the market, he's doing great. He's got a lead magnet which takes people deeper into his world and into his framework. So that's where we come in. We're writing the emails right now and explaining the framework in a bit more detail. So much more content and valuable driven based on what he's shown above. So above on YouTube, it's more broad, and he's like introducing the concept for the first time. And then inside the email, it's a little bit deeper and more detailed. So that leads to us basically doing that first part of the sequence. So doing the pre-launch stuff. So we're just planting the seed, like I said, giving value, showing the importance of the framework, the need of it, why it's better than the old way, just getting people warmed up to it, right? Bought in. So then after those few emails, and because the sales product that he's got is a workshop, it's like around at the $100 price for this first go. We don't need too many emails. We don't need to go so heavy on the value and the build up. So we're going to cap it at around 10 emails. And so after the 10, we're then going to try to transition maybe 3 to 5 emails of like a sales orientated messaging. So, hey, if you enjoyed this email series and you took a lot of value from it, we're really excited to announce that we've got this new workshop that we've just launched. It's coming up. We've prepared several hours working on it. So you just want to kind of position it in the sense that it's taken a lot of time, a lot of research, many iterations, because if it's new, it's not going to have social proof. If it did have social proof, then the messaging would be slightly different. So it'd be like, so many people have loved it. This is some of the feedback that we've got, but since it's new, we don't have that, right? So you have to lean on different angles based on where you are with your product. So anyway, pre-launch done, then the sales, as I said, transitioning less about the mechanism and more about like, you don't want to miss this, FOMO, it's going to be great, we're going to be covering this, this and this, by the end you'll be left with this. So it's really about like benefits and just getting them excited, but also wanting to take action as well. So you're making it like a no-brainer for them to jump on board. And so you can do this with like obviously incentives financially, with discounts. We don't like that. We like bonuses, and so that's what we're going to do there. And then finally, post launch. So this is after the event. People who have purchased will be segmented off and given different emails. They'll be most likely, we'll need to discuss this and pencil this in, but they'll be most likely given messaging around upgrading to the coaching program, or to even book one-on-one calls for one-to-one consulting. And then for those who are still on the email list but didn't buy the workshop, they'd be given more messaging around FAQs, so objection handling. So you might be wondering if this is for me, or like what, tell me about the pricing plans, etc. Again, the questions need to be appropriate to what was sold before. So if it's a workshop, there's no pricing plan, it's just gonna be a one price, right? And so yeah, we'll cover that appropriately. Other things to cover in the post-launch is just more urgency and scarcity. To say, for example, this workshop comes down. I know it's obviously digital, so the nature around digital products is like, oh, there's the scarcity is fake because it's a digital product. People can just get infinite copies, but you can just obviously take things down, right? You can make things unavailable. So that leads to people taking action. So people, unfortunately, all of us, myself included, all humans, we act on loss aversion, right? So when we're pushed into taking action, unfortunately, we tend to. So we like to think that we're logical creatures, but yeah, we're not so logical. So that's that. We will have bonuses as well to give to the people post-launch who have perhaps been thinking about it and not taken the action. So we'll try to figure out bonuses that address their concerns. So for example, if someone had an objection, or like a worry, like, is this for me? Can this apply to my my fashion brand? And I go after males, okay, because our client doesn't do that. He only addresses females. So we could make a bonus around just to convert like his work for the male market. So just as an example there, you're taking their objections and turning it around and making it as a bonus. So that again will last around 3 to 5 emails, not too much, all because the price that we're asking for isn't that deep. It's $100, okay? So we don't need to really step on the gas in terms of multiple emails, like 5 to 10 post-launch emails. We don't need to do that. And so that's it. That's kind of how we're thinking about it. We will start the workshop live. It'll be a live paid event, so people can then attend it there and then, and even asking questions. We'll discuss this, but at the moment, asking questions, and obviously that's the benefit of it being live, is a selling point of the current price. But if we really wanted to, we could carve it out and have it as a add-on, as a bonus. So we'll discuss that. But anyway, workshop is this like the front end sales product. And then what the great thing is, once this is done and it's like post edited, it's recorded, it's polished, this can then just become an evergreen process. So people will see the YouTube, they'll click the link in the description for like a deeper dive, they'll land on a landing page, and we'll model this in a different way post-launch, but we'll have like a little VSL that just, again, further explains what they can expect if they join the list and get this free email course, shall we say. And then, yeah, we'll get them in, same idea, get them indoctrinated, get them hype on the mechanism, and then after about email 10, we'll then start to reposition the email, shall we say, and start talking about the workshop. And then the workshop can be, you know, because we'll have had a chance to listen to the feedback on the live workshop and listen to customers come back to us via email, we'll be able to beef it up and make it a bit more robust and more valuable, and so the price can increase and it can be like a more comfortable 3-figure price. And that just becomes evergreen. Same process as what I've described, so pre-launch, launch, post-launch, but it's just evergreen. So there's no like live workshop, it's just a standalone almost like a mini course, if you like. And yeah, that now just becomes his like front end monetization. And so he will hopefully, if this is all going to plan, if this works out how we think it should work out, he'll be able to organically validate that his workshop works out, and then that gives us the I guess the customer base to go and then speak to them again and launch a more robust, valuable coaching program. So then that becomes the back end. Once we've got that, just the front end and a back end, we can then go to paid ads. And again, we would launch ads aimed at the front end, so aimed at the workshop coming in for the email course, or even repurposing the emails into like kind of hidden unlisted value videos to explain the emails a bit more. So we'll think about how we do that for cold traffic. But yeah, once the back end's there, then we can go to paid ads. So anyway, to wrap up and summarize, when you're launching, think of it in 3 phases: pre-launch, launch, post-launch, and think about the kind of objectives of each thing. So pre-launch, education, indoctrination, excitement; launch, sales, incentives, excitement, pushing them to take action; and then post-launch, handling objections, making it easy, potentially breaking out the price, adding new bonuses, just getting people to take final action and pushing them a little bit, let's be real, with urgency and scarcity. Okay, and even, yeah, like guarantees too. So you can add a money back guarantee as well. I think that does help for certain people. Reducing risk is always a great thing to do. Okay.